Hello people of Flosstube, I'm back. It's been a little bit longer than I anticipated. Oh, and the dogs have just chosen now to come into the room, just great. But yeah, I thought I would have had an update for you way before now, but as you know, life gets in the way. I've been super busy. We had the Easter half term and the family went camping for the first time, which was hilarious and not as disastrous as I thought it would be. If you know me, I am not a camping girl. I want my home comforts and my shower and all that stuff. That we just had one little issue with the dogs when they knocked our cups of teas flying, and they were a little bit excited that there were other dogs around, but they did pretty well, and Lizzie absolutely loved it. She didn't want to come home and she got right into the sort of camping vibes at one with nature, and she had a little pigtails in so she loved it. And then I've been busy doing the boxes, so the Mistra boxes that I do. So far we've had the spring box release and we've had the Magic School boxes. Thank you to everybody that's commented and shared them on Instagram. I think everybody was really happy with them. I'll put the names down somewhere of a couple of Flosstubers that did some unboxing videos if you're interested and you want to see those. But yeah, they took up a lot of my time, but enjoyable time. And at the minute I'm just getting the Royal Retreat box done, because if you didn't know, the next Floss Friends UK retreat is in May, the first one of 2023, and we're doing a royal theme ready for the coronation. And yeah, I've done some sort of retreat exclusive boxes for that. So they're almost done, just got a couple of bags left to make, and then I'm waiting on the sweet treats to arrive because I cannot bake whatsoever, so I've ordered those in, and then they'll be complete. I feel really unorganised this year for getting stuff ready, but life, it is what it is. Things have been pretty stressful at work and I'm struggling to get the motivation to get going in the crafty room, to be honest. But I will, and you know, I need to just leave work at work. I'm struggling with that at the moment, but we all have our moments, don't we? So yeah, that's what's been keeping me busy. And then last time I was on video with you, I said at the next video I would have my first full coverage finish, which I have. I finished it, but that was another reason why it was so delayed. So I think at the last video, which was 2 months ago, I had around 8,000 or 9,000 stitches left, and I got to 2,500 stitches left, and I hit a brick wall. I just couldn't do it. It was just so much confetti, and all the confetti was in creams and browns, and it was hard work. The saving grace was the update with the Pattern Keeper app where you could search by how many stitches were left. So I did sort of the most stitches, then I did the least stitches, most stitches, least stitches. But yeah, it was a really hard slog. It got to the last weekend of the Easter half term and I don't think I'd touched it in 3 weeks. And I just said to myself, Sam, this is not going to go into another week, so get it out, get it finished. Lizzie was happy playing in the garden and doing all the things that you shouldn't be doing, like playing on the iPad and stuff like that. So she was well entertained, and I just stitched. Ryan was great. He really helped out with Lizzie as well because he knew that I just wanted to get it done. It got to 3 AM on Sunday night and I finished it. Yay! Super happy with myself, and it was a little bit anticlimactic because I was sat on my own and it clicked over to 100% complete on Pattern Keeper, and I was just like, oh, it's done. okay. So I quickly went and ironed it and put a picture up. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me right now because it's at the framers, but I'll make sure I show it on my next one. But yeah, I got it finished, and yes, it's an achievement, and I still can't believe that I've spent all that time stitching on a pattern. I think us full coverage stitches are absolutely mental, to be honest. But all in total, so it was 74,000 stitches, so not even a big one, but it's still taken me 18 months. Over that time I've spent 66 days stitching on it. And I did 2/1 10th stitch, so God knows how long it would have taken if I'd done it full cross. But I'll put a picture up here somewhere. I've got a picture of it finished. I was planning on, sorry, let me just pause this and I'm going to move the blinds because the sun's in my... Sorry about that. I love sitting in the conservatory at this time of year, but yeah, it's not great for filming. So yeah, I'd planned to frame it myself just to keep the cost down a little bit, and I bought a cheapo frame from the range, and I think it cost me about £8. But when I had washed the finished piece, it was so skew width, so the top bit was fairly straight and then the bottom curved completely, so it really needed stretching and lacing properly. So I was a little bit disappointed that I was gonna have to pay out for it, but you know, I want it to be done right. And there's a wonderful lady called Lisa that's part of the Floss Friends group, who is going to be a vendor in May and the summer retreat in July and April next year. She's called Lisa, and I think it's Atelier Frames or Atelier Frames. This is her company anyway. She is framing it for me, so she was quite happy for me to give her the frame, and she's going to lace it all for me and add an extra mount. And it took her some work to stretch it out. She sent me the progress pictures, so thank you, Lisa. I'll put a picture up of it fully framed, and I should get that tomorrow actually. She's going to drop it off at work for me, and it was really affordable. She charged me £30 for that, so that was her washing it again, pinning it to straighten it out, lacing it and putting it in the frame and adding an extra mount, and I can't believe how cheap that was. So yeah, thank you, Lisa. So that was a huge finish for me. I don't know if I mentioned before, but I'm trying to do the year of the finishers. So there's a little hashtag, the year of the finishers, and I'm trying to get 12 finishers in 12 months basically. So this is my third finish of the year, but I'm very, very close to a fourth, which you will see shortly. So I'm kind of on track for that. And my first big finish of the year, sorry, I'm just trying to maneuver all the rubbish out of the way. My first big finish of the year was my chatelaine, my mini chatelaine, and Lisa very kindly framed this up for me as well. So I've brought it to show you. Now the glare's going to be insane because, like I said, I'm in the conservatory, but you should be able to get an idea. Oh, look at it. And she did a fantastic job. So I said that I wanted to highlight the colours in the pattern, and I think she did this fantastically with the colour of the mount and matching it to the green in there. So for this one, I got the frame. There's 2 mounts, I think, yeah, 2 mounts, and then because I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's these huge Swarovski crystals up in the trees and in the center, which meant that she needed to do 2 spacers in there as well, and she fully laced it, and she charged me £65 for this in total, which again I thought was a complete bargain. I took it to show the ladies at our stitching days at the weekend, and they were all sort of stunned by how little she's charged for this, and it's perfect. It really is perfect. And on the back she does the whole hanging thing, and I've got all the stuff to put it on the wall, and it's all taped up nicely so it's all sealed, nothing can get in there, and it is perfectly straight. And the thing that I really liked about Lisa was that she kept me updated with every part of the process. So she sent photos of when it was laced, she sent me photos of all the different frames and mounts and how it will look together. She came to work to pick it up, drop it off. She's just a fantastic lady, and she's just really easy to talk to. I was quite nervous about the whole process because I've never done anything like that before. Any framing I've done, I've just bought a cheap frame and I've just sort of stuck it in myself, so I've not had it done properly. But she really went through all of the options with me, which I really appreciated, and I will continue to use her again in the future, so do check her out. She is on Facebook and Instagram, and she's based in Doncaster, but you can post your items to her and she will post them back out. She's very approachable, very nice, and she is very skilled at what she does. So that is Lisa. So yeah, that's kept me busy with the finishing. I've got a few whips and a few new starts. Because there's quite a lot, I've not separated it into new starts and whips. I've just put them in the order that I've worked them on. I've had to kind of scrap my book of days because I was really struggling to keep track of where I was and how many stitches I've done, and I kept forgetting to take the book with me, so then I wouldn't write in it when I got back home. I tend to do a lot of stitching at work, sort of on lunch breaks and before my shift starts. So I've gone back to my spreadsheet. So as I've got into the rhythm of that, it's kind of all over the place a little bit. So yeah, they're all mixed in, but you will still get to see everything. And there's quite a lot. So let's make a start then. So the first one is a brand new start. It doesn't feel like a new start for me because I started it just a few days after I last recorded, so sort of 2 months ago. But this was my birthday start, and I think I did mention it on the last video. So this is Bedtime Story by Chris Dunn, chartered by Pain Free Crafts, and I'm on the Pain Free Crafts Club, so I pay monthly, and then every 6 months I get a voucher to use towards a kit. So you get the pattern, the fabric, floss, and the needle minder, and this was my first one, and I was super happy with it. It came really nicely, and this was the pattern that Lizzie chose out, so you know, it's got a bit of special meaning to her and to me, because you know, we like to read bedtime stories. So yeah, hopefully I will get this finished one day. That it is going to be one of my focus full coverage pieces. So I'll show you where I am now. It's still on the hoop just because I was working on it last night, so it's not ironed or anything. So here it is. Not a huge start. Here's my little needle minder. So this has only had 3 days, and I've done 2,501 stitches out of 102,648, so it's quite big. I don't think you can see it very well because it's so dark. You can kind of see sort of the branches coming up here, and then this is going to be a dark curtain. So it's all just lots of browns and greens in there at the moment. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross, which takes me so long, but I do think it looks a lot more uniform, sorry. And what I do like is I don't get no bulk on the back. So look how gappy that is on the back. It looks so much better. When I do it tent stitch, it gets to be quite difficult to be putting the needle through. So yeah, I do prefer 1/1, and I wanted this one to be done right because it is going to be a gift for Lizzie at one day in her life. Hopefully within the next couple of years we can have this up in a bedroom. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. And for 3 days, I don't think that's too bad. I'm probably about 2/3 of a page finished, so once I get this, or maybe half, 2/3 is egging it on a bit, isn't it? Once I get down here, then that'll be the first page finish. So it's coming along and I'm enjoying it. I'll just show you, so this is my little bag that is staying in. It's got all like little squirrels on it, and this is how you get the threads from Pain Free Crafts. So they're on these little floss cards, which makes it nice and easy, and they're all sort of ready to just pull straight off. So I do like it. They're not the most exciting colours, I must say, though. After stitching on the witching hour and I did all those creams and browns, and I said I never wanted to stitch on cream or brown ever again, and then I started that one and I was like, oh, back to the creams and browns. But I'm enjoying it. It is a lovely pattern, and I always think it's so much more special when it's got a meaning behind it as well. So yeah, that was my birthday start. I don't think I've said, but that's at 2.4%, so a way to go. My next one was a new start as well. You might have seen on my previous videos that I did the reindeer from the Cottage Garden Samplings A Year in the Woods sale, and I wanted to do another one. So my idea is that I will have sort of a spring, summer, autumn and winter, just one from each season, and then just frame them up like that. So I've already done the deer. In fact, let me just pause it and I'll show you the deer. So for those that didn't see it, this was the reindeer that I finished in December. Absolutely love this one so much. The fabric choice, although it was a little bit risky because it was meant to be done on like a light blue, it was just perfect. I'm hoping you can see the mottling. So it's all purples and blues. This was from Kate at Sparklies. So that is my winter one. And then I wanted to kind of keep with the same sparkly theme in with them all. So the next one I've done is the bear. So this is going to be the summer one. And I love this one so much. The reindeer, I just did whatever threads I had in my stash. For this one, I did order the variegated floss for the bear just because I loved it on the picture. Well, you can see it all there. So, yeah, I did order the threads for this. And this is on a huge piece of fabric. So there is my progress. Oh, you just about see the sparkle in there. But yeah. Oh, look at him. I love him so much. So this one has been my work piece, except for I've kind of fell out with him because I realised that I've done this whole section a stitch too high, or too high. So I need to fudge it a little bit because I'm not gonna frog it. I also did his face too high as well, so I've obviously gone wrong somewhere. So there should actually be a stitch between them, but I don't think you would notice at a quick glance. None of my family and friends would notice anyway because none of them stitch, so they don't know the pattern. But he's looking great. I actually really enjoy doing these as well. I don't know if you can see the variegation very well. Oh, you can in the dark thread, I think. One thing I was questioning was whether I should have stitched. What I usually do is go up and down in lines, and I didn't think about that with the variegation because it's not something that I use very often. But you'll see the lines are going up and down, and I don't know whether they should have gone across to sort of match the house, but I like him. Yeah, I do really like him. So he has had 10 days stitching on him. and he's stitched on a 28 count opalescent Evening weave, and this was on from Coffee Craft Fabric. She does a Super Sunday fabric release where every hour she will post a new fabric dye, and then it's first come first serve. You just put on there if you want it, and I was lucky enough to grab this, and it is a huge piece. It's absolutely massive, and I think that cost me about £20, so not expensive at all. Guys, look up. Dogs are playing. Sorry if you can hear all that background noise. So yeah, so this one is going to be a bit of a focus this year to try and get that one done. If I can get all 4 done this year and get them framed at the end, that would be a real achievement. The other ones that I've planned to do is the raccoon for spring and the owl for autumn. So that's what you've got to look forward to. That's that one. My next one you will have seen before. Oh my goodness, they're playing tug of war, so I'm sorry. I've got 2 little Frenchies, Archie and Rosie, and most of the time they will just sleep all day long until you try and do anything, and then they'll come out and want to play. So my next one is Home of a Needleworker. And this one is by Little House Needleworks. So this is one that I have started with Andrea, who's my stitching bestie, and I'll put her Instagram up somewhere on here. The idea was that when we have a stitching meet up, we will stitch this one together. I didn't do it at the last one because I wanted to work on one of my focus pieces, which I'll show you in a bit. But Andrea is zooming along. She started on the house, and I think she's done maybe all the blue and some of the windows, but not the door or the roof. But she's, yeah, it's bigger than you think, that house. So she's made a lot of progress. This is where I am. So started up in the top left hand corner, and as you will see, the colours are a little bit different, and that is because I just used what was from Stash. So it's all using classic Colourworks, and I had one Gentle Arts. Oh, was it? Yeah, it's charted with all classic Colourworks. I've got a couple here that are called for, but most of them was in the Stash. And then I had one Gentle Arts, which I've decided to put in there as well. So these are some of the colours, which I think are just lovely. I wanted to make sure I had the right blue for the house because I loved the house. And that one is Old Blue Jeans. So that's what colour the house is going to be. So yeah, so that one's coming along. I've only had 1 day on that since I last showed it to you. I think probably about 3 days in total. But yeah, I just didn't want to stitch on it at the last meet up, which was actually on Saturday. And it was lovely. I have to say, there was lots of new faces there, which was nice. Lots of faces that we've seen before. And I just love that people's husbands and stuff are coming along. The food is amazing. So they all come along, have their breakfast, and then go off for a little wander around, because it's in a fantastic setting. It's right near like some falls, and it's on a canal, and yeah, absolutely gorgeous setting. So yeah, we had near enough a full table this time. So I think there was maybe 9 of us, excluding the husbands. So yeah, really happy with that. And because it's so busy in May, sorry about the zip, our next one won't be until June. So if you live or can travel to the South Yorkshire area, it's in Doncaster, at a gorgeous pub, and all the details are in the Floss Friends UK Facebook group. can't get my words out. I'm so out of sync with this. When you have a bit of a break from it, you kind of forget what you need to do. So my next one, I pulled out just because I wanted a break from the witching hour. But I still wanted to get progress on a pattern that needed some progress in it, I guess. So the next one is Pocahontas, the Story Keep by Heaven and Earth Designs. I have a real love-hate relationship with this one. Love the pattern. I love how it looks when it's on camera. I don't love how it looks when I'm stitching it up. So let me just show you where I am. So here we are. The colours look amazing. And her face looks amazing. But yeah, close up, in my opinion, it looks a little bit messy. And I think part of that reason is because I've used CXC threads and it's a little chunky. I'll never use them for a full coverage ever again. I'll use them for some smalls just to keep the cost down, but for full coverage it is just far too chunky. But yeah, she does look lovely. So I just spent one day on this one and I did around 500 stitches. I didn't track that, unfortunately. So she's now at 9,312 stitches out of 37,875. So she's just shy of 25%. And really, she should be done this year. You know, if there's only sort of 27,000 stitches left to go, I should be able to do that this year. But I just don't ever want to pull her out. And that's where the problem lies. So, yeah. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. We'll see. And you can see I've got all the threads in there. So, even though she's only small, there is a lot of threads. A lot of threads. And I think that's why I wanted to just give the CXC a try. To try and save a little bit of money, but it's not worth it. I'd rather just buy the DMC as I go. Yeah, and do it how I like. So, yeah. Love-hate relationship with that one. My next one has been my absolute focus for the last week, and I love her so much. If you follow me on Instagram, you're probably sick and tired of seeing her, but this is Greta Goldbroom by Bella Filipina. Just love her. And I'm taking part in the Teresa Made Me Do It Sal, which is Teresa the Little Stitcher. So they're all sort of stitching on fancy ladies. And if you weren't aware, the first sort of debut Bella Filipina retreat is next month, and Andrea and I are visiting. If you are going, then please drop me a message, because I am getting there a little bit before Andrea. So I'm getting there probably about 10 o'clock in the morning on the Friday, and Andrea's not going to get there until sort of 7, 8ish. So yeah, if you are going and you want a friend, please seek me out. I'm not used to going places without my stitching friend. Sorry, I'm just cutting all the... I've not serged this one, so I've got all spare threads hanging off it. So let me show you. Stop messing about. So this is Greta. So all the cross stitching is now finished. So I'll just bring her in. All that is left is the beading. So yeah. I love her. absolutely love her, and love the fabric. This is stitched on 28 count opalescent even weave by Pole Stitches, and this is called Celebration of Roses. This was the one that I moan about because it took like 3 months to come, but my word, it was worth it. She looks fantastic. And this is my first ever Bella Filipina. And she won't be the last. Absolutely, she will not be the last. So I've got about 3 weeks now to get all the beading done because I want her to be shown off on the finished table. She won't be fully finished because I won't have enough time to get her framed or anything, and I think that is what I want to do with her. I think I want her to be framed, but yeah, at least she'll be there. So that is hopefully going to be my 4th finish before the end of April, and then I need to decide what I can get finished in May. That might be the bear, I don't know. I'm trying to get some quick wins. So the next one you won't have seen in a while. I'll put a picture up. So this is Never Let It Go, artwork by Heather Edwards, charted by myself, which is Little Loops. And this one is not available to purchase. This was one that Heather said she was happy for me to chart for personal use only. And here she is. That's little Anna. Oh God, I just love this so much. And Lizzie is an absolute massive Frozen fan. I really need to get working on it, but it's 1/1 and I have to be in the right mood to stitch 1/1 full cross for full coverage. So I spent 1 day on this since I last did my Flosstube. This is supposed to be a focus for this year. If I could get to, I don't know, if I could do another 10,000 stitches on it, or maybe even 20, that would make me very, very happy. But we will see. So this one is now at 6,571 out of 147,408. So I'm only at 4.4%. But a lot of this has black background, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to do all the black intent stitch just to get it moving along. But yeah, love this one. This one again is going to have a lot of you know, personal meaning for me and Lizzie. And there you can see my little Agnes needle minder. Oh, dogs are off again. But yeah, that was my little Christmas turtle, and with it being frozen, it seemed very fitting that they would go together. So that is that one. Sorry about the dogs. Alright, next one, we're getting there. The next one I picked up yesterday. I wasn't really feeling myself yesterday. I had one of those shocking migraines. So I just wanted something that was quite small, could stitch sort of in bed while I was having a bit of a time out. So I pulled out Botanical Gardens, which is a Nora Corbett Mirabilia design. Getting a bit closer so you can see. This one I do like. For some reason though, I don't really enjoy stitching on it that much. I find the pattern quite difficult to follow. So there she is. I've not got the colour for the cheeks and I really need to go and buy that. So I just worked on this area here and started putting some of those flowers in. This one is on 32 count opalescent, which was the fabric of the month from Sparklies. I love the Krynic on the crown. Don't know if you can see the sparkle in there, but that looks lovely. But yeah, I just, you shouldn't compare them, but comparing the Bella patterns to the Mirabilia, I much prefer the Bellas. Yeah, it's just so hard to sort of keep track of the symbols because they're so similar, and because the pattern is so small, you know, I don't have any issues with my eyes whatsoever, but I struggle to follow that. So yeah, I do have some more Mirabilias, but I think next time I probably need to blow the pattern up and make it a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit easier to follow. My next one, which is my last one to show you, was my gift from Ryan for my birthday this year. So this is Koi Pond by Shannon Christine Designs, and I saw somebody on Instagram that posted this. It doesn't really look too exciting on there, but all of this area here in the middle is pretty much all crystals, and it took me quite a long time to source some beads that would work with it. I've still struggled. I've not found these diamond ones, although I've kind of got a bit of an idea where to get them. It's just I'm not sure whether I want to buy them. They're £1.80 for 2, and then the shipping is extortionate. So I've put one of my own crystals in there at the moment, but that might change. I might just end up buying them. I just hate paying shipping for something when the shipping is more expensive than the actual item that you're buying. I've not put how many days I've spent on this, but I think it might be about three days. So here it is. So I've done all the stitching from the centre motif. We've got some specialty stitches in there, which I can't remember what they're called. Juliet or Islet and all the things. So we've got all the gold is Petite Treasure Braid, and then all this gold that you're seeing up here is all beads. It really doesn't photograph well, and you can't see it too well on the video, but trust me, it is all beads. All this centre bit here is all beads. These were quite difficult to find, but I've got them. And then this is the one that I've substituted, but actually I don't know if it's a bit too big. I can't decide what to do with it. I'll probably just do it all and leave the diamond ones out, and then either purchase them or just substitute like I already have. But yeah, it is coming along. I can only do this one when there's no child around and when I'm in the patience of beading, because it's not even just a little bit of beads. Like, can you see here, it's like straight lines, so you need to really get them perfect. Oh, you can see here, look, all beads, beads. And I've kind of just raided my stash for the beads, but I'm definitely going to need to stock up after I've done this one. I'm excited to do the fish. That's what really called to me. My dad, ever since I've been little, has had a pond, and he's got these huge koi fish. So I think when it's done, I might see if my dad wants this one. I'm not going to force it onto him because he's not into any kind of crafting in any way, and I don't really share my crafts with my family just because it's not their cup of tea, but I think this might be one that he would like, but we'll see. This one is stitched on 28 count Fabric of the Month by Coffee Craft Fabric, and this is even weave, and it's only 96 stitches tall, so the reason I put it into this nerd hoop was because it will just fit in there nicely. That is only how big it's going to be. So very small piece, but lots and lots of jewels. And I just want to show you one of my favourite needle minders that I've made. And this says Professor Trellaway's Tea of the, I think it's Tea of the Month Club. Yeah, Tea of the Month Club. And I found the little pin and I just had to make that into a needle minder. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you will appreciate that, I'm sure. So that is what I have been stitches on. I've still got quite a bit to show you. I've got a bit of haul, I've got some plans, and then I've also got the results of the giveaway. So I'm just going to pause it there, move all my stuff out of the way, make another cup of tea, and then we can carry on. So I will see you in 2. I'm back. So the next bit I'm going to talk to you about is what I plan to stitch next. So I'm trying to do some focus pieces, and I think I might have mentioned this in my last one, that I'm not trying to bring in a new pattern of the same category unless I finish one. So as Greta is going to be finished, I needed to choose another Bella to start next, and the one that I had chosen is sorry, it's a little bit shiny because it's in the packet, but this is Gaia the Earth Goddess, and I've planned to start this with Michaela at the Bella Filipina retreat. The bit that actually I like the most is these little yellow birds. I've seen it stitched up and they just look absolutely gorgeous. So I've already got all the things that I need for that. So all the floss and the fabric and the beads. So she's all ready to go. I might make a little start on her before, just so I don't have to be messing around making sure that I've started in the right place when I've got all people around me, but we'll see. But yeah, super excited about that one. So she is going to be a new start in May. As I've finished a full coverage, even though I've got my birthday start, but that doesn't count, I wanted to choose a new full coverage to start. And I have not printed out the front cover, so I'll put a picture up here. This is Ilan Vital in Wiley Wood, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The artwork is by Sheila Walk and it is by Charting Creations. This was the one that I was sort of umming and ahhing between when I ordered Bedtime Story. And you know when something just niggles in your mind, thinking, I wish I'd done that, wish I'd got that. And yeah, so I just decided to go for it. So I've got all the fabric and everything and it's ready to go. That is going to be a start in May because I'm doing the Mermania 2023 sale, which is Joe Belushi Stitches is doing that one, and Kelly from Animal Instinct. So I'll put the hashtag up here. Everybody is welcome to join, and do tag it in on Instagram to be a part of that. So that is, everybody is going to be stitching on mermaids throughout May, which I'm quite excited about. That one is another one that's over 100,000 stitches, so I think I'm going to just do that one in 10th stitch. And again, it's got the koi fish in it again, so I don't know where this sudden obsession has come from the carp fish, but it's a theme, so that's going to be a new start. And then the next one I have absolute no business starting whatsoever. I have started maybe 3 sales last year and I've not finished any of them, but I'm going to sign up to another one. So I've seen this one on a few people's Flosstubes and on Instagram, and it's just right up my street. If you know me, I do love things that are a little bit gothic, a little bit creepy, and anything that is like old houses really does it for me. And I'm also dead into my plants. I can't do actual gardening, but I have lots of plants throughout the house that I'm not quite sure how I keep them alive, but I do, and I love them dearly. So when I saw Greenhouse of Oddities Sal by Lola Crow Cross Stitch, I knew that I just had to do this one. And I will one day finish the Cryptid Sal by the Witchy Stitcher. I said I weren't going to do any other sales until that one was finished, but I've got to do this one. I felt so left out when I saw everybody did the Haunted Library, because it's such a fantastic pattern, and she is a genius designer. I love what she does. I just couldn't miss out on this one. So I've bought some fabric. I'm not sure if it's going to work. It's a fabric flare, which is, if you've not seen them before, it's like a printed design on the fabric. I think it will work, but I'm not sure on the placement of how well it will work. So if it doesn't, that's fine, I'll scrap it. But I'll put a picture in here of what I've ordered. It's still on its way from Lakeside. I'm a bit behind already with the sale. That started, I think, last month or beginning of the month, and I think there's only a week or so until the first release comes out, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. I'm sure somebody said that the frame was like 6,000 stitches, so yeah. I'm gonna be way behind, but I might actually take that to the Bella retreat with me, and to the Floss Friends retreat. The Bella retreat is a little bit different than the Mirabilias. You can stitch on anything that you want. I do want to stitch on the Bella, but I'm not a monogamous stitcher, and I think 3 days of stitching on the same project might be a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to take another pattern with me just to give myself a bit of a break, and I think it's going to be that one. So yeah, I'm excited to start that one. As soon as that comes, I'm going to be stitching on that. I might even have to switch out the bear and put that one in as my work piece, but I want to get the bear done, so I don't know. Not enough time for stitching, I think, is the outcome of that. But they're the 3 that I will be starting in May, and then I need to finish one in May, so yeah, need to get my skates on with that. I've got a little bit of haul. I've probably bought loads in terms of like fabrics and floss and stuff, but 2 months is a long time to remember those bits, so I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to show you the patterns and an adorable needle minder that I bought. So the first one is I've pre-ordered Poison Apple by Bella Filipina, and I'll put a picture up here somewhere. If you know me, I am a huge Disney fan, fairy tale fan, anything sort of to do with you know, the princesses and all of that. We go to Disney every year, and it's a big deal in our house. I've passed it on to Lizzie as well. She's a huge fan as well. So yeah, this is Snow White. I'm gonna change the colour in a little bit because I want her to be in the Disney colours, so I'd already got that in mind. And I've ordered some fabric from Megan at Coffee Craft, but I'm not sure it's going to work. I think the colour is gorgeous, but it's 25 count, and doing that over 2 I think is going to make it might be too big for the beads to sit in. So if you have stitched a Bella on 25 count, 2 over 2, or even 3 over 2, then let me know how you got on with it, how the beads worked, and if it has worked and it looks great, I'll go ahead. If you actually think it needs to be a smaller count, then I'll rethink and I'll put the fabric in my stash. But I'll put that up here so you can see the pattern and the fabric together. And I think it's just a perfect match. I've ordered a little needle minder from Megan as well, like a little cutesy one, but it wasn't really what I was looking for, but I've ordered it anyway. So I thought, you know what, I'll just make my own, and I absolutely love it. So this is what I found this image online. Woo, there we go. Like a vintage style Snow White with the apple, and I just think that is perfect. So this is going to be my needle minder for that pattern. And I can't wait to start that. But really I need to finish Gaia before I do that one, because I only won one of each category in my active whip stash. So yeah, that one is coming. And then the other one, I bought another Bella. No intentions of starting it anytime soon, but I just loved it because it was a little bit different to their others. And that was this one. So this is Pontus and Thalassa. I'm not very good with the names, so that's the name if you wanted to find it yourself. I'm sure everybody's seen this. I just loved it because it had a man, and they were together, and I've not seen another one like that. It's usually two women together, but I loved it, like a little bit seductive. I love her tail. This bit I think is my favourite as part of the pattern. Yeah, I just think it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that one is going in my stash. No intentions of starting it anytime soon, probably not even this year, but it will be in there at a future date. And then my other little thing was I got another Agnes needle minder. I was gutted because if you keep up to date with what she's doing, I really wanted the little chameleon one, and I was clicking buy now, and then PayPal was sort of, we need to authenticate who you are. So I had to go back into the app, and then when I got back into my basket, it had gone. So I ended up with this little guy, and I do love him. He's gorgeous. The colours are beautiful, and I love this little heart gem that's in there. His little face. So yeah, not the one that I initially wanted, but he has got a happy home with me, and I love him. The next one she's doing is like spring bees, and I am all over that. I need one of those. So I will set my reminder again, and I will be on there on Etsy. I think next time I need to do it on the laptop as opposed to my phone, because it always messes up on my phone and I never get the one that I actually want. But I'm happy with them. So we're nearly there, nearly at the end. The last bits are the giveaway announcements that I did, start that again. So at the last video I said I was going to do some giveaways, so it's now time to announce who has won. I have commented on their comment from a previous video, so yeah, if you've not had a comment back from your name, then unfortunately you were not the winner. For those people that I have messaged, then please send me an email with your delivery information so I can get it straight out to you. So the first one was my complete collection of Goth Girls. I'll put a picture up. And the winner was Hannah McPadden. So congratulations, Hannah, and thank you for entering. The next one was for Moonlight Gardens, which is a full coverage by Pole Stitches, which I got in a mystery box from them. And the winner of that was Pittown Sally. So well done, Sally. Drop me a message and I will get this in the post to you. And the last one was for Celestial Symphony. Forgot the name then. and quite a few of you wanted this one, but the winner was Cindy Castillo. So again, drop me a message with your delivery details and I will put that in the post for you. So congratulations everybody, and thank you to all those that entered. I think I had over 100 comments, so there was quite a lot to go through, so thank you very, very much. I don't have any giveaways for this month, I'm afraid. I didn't even think I was going to get a video done before the retreat. So yeah, that was quite an achievement in itself. May is going to be insane. So I don't know when I'm going to have another whip update, but I will hopefully get a video sort of my experience and a bit of filming there at the Bella retreat, especially with it being the first one. I'd like to show you sort of what went off, what happened. I'm really excited about it, but super nervous at the same time. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And then I've got the Floss Friends retreat towards the end of the month, so I will film this time because I didn't take hardly any photos or any filming last time, so I will make sure I make a conscious effort to do that so you guys can see what it's all about. And then also some exciting news for any of you that have been sort of wondering what's happened with Big Stitch, because we've kind of gone a little bit quiet. We're almost at the year point of the event actually taking place. So from May we will be announcing a vendor or designer each month to let you know what special guests we have coming to the event. Now you all know that it's the main guest designer is Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery, but we have so much more. If you want to keep updated with what is going on, there is a Facebook page and an Instagram. We'll let you know when the announcements are made. I'll put the details up here. If you want to sort of get information about tickets, you can drop as an email. It's info@bigstitchevents.com. Again, I'll put all the information up. And yeah, I'm just super excited. Linda and Caroline went to Nashville and they just knocked it out of the park. There was so many American designers and French and Italian that were there, and they want to be a part of it, which is incredible. So yeah, get ready, because there's going to be exclusive patterns, fabrics, floss. There's going to be all different finishing materials, and yeah, insane. So keep up to date. I'm not going to let anything slip before then. But yeah, from May we will be making the big announcements, and yeah, get in touch if you want any more information. So I think that is all for me. Sorry it's been a little bit, yeah, not my normal video, but yeah, you fall out of sync with it all and your normal routine when you've not recorded in a while. So I'll get this all edited and put up, and hopefully I will see you in May for another update. If not, it will probably be June. But happy stitching everyone, enjoy the sunshine, and I will see you soon. Bye.